The New World Order agenda seems to be accelerating at a continuously increasing rate. I'm going back to some things that are coming to fruition and the plans at this point. We have a situation where, going back in time, Bill Cooper saw a plan called Majesty 12, which contained an operation called Operation Majority. And that plan outlined all of the things that were to happen from that time into the future. And all of the work that he's done and all of his research is there. And it is unbelievable. This is the book, Behold the Pale Horse, by William Cooper. And a proposed constitutional model for the new states of America, prepared over a 10-year period by the Center for Democratic Studies of Santa Barbara, California, at the total cost to the United States taxpayers of over $25 million, on how to basically bring in this socialist establishment, which we're having this transition going on. Everybody has to pay attention to this. Let's just, before I get into this, let's go on what's happening. Monsanto's controlling the food supply while everybody's worried about gay marriage. Gay marriage, again, now again, I'm all for everyone's human rights, but you cannot redefine marriage. You cannot force Catholics to give birth control to people because of Obamacare. You can't force people to buy insurance if they don't want to, or they can't afford to, or they get taxed. I mean, this is tyranny. This is what it is, and it's the socialism is being put into place, and I'm going to show you the connection that is right from our own government programs and plans. This is all through the United Nations Agenda 21 protocols to bring these green environments and have everybody closed into these little cities, and that's where it's heading. Now, right now, we have the situation with, again, all of these incredible, the gun control. You've got to get the guns away, established. You got to get the guns away. They've been working on this for 50 years. Getting the guns away from the American people. Use slick willy people like President Obama, these Madison Avenue, figureheads, and that can't do anything unless they read from a teleprompter. Actors, basically, they're all actors, and not really being truthful, and certainly telling you one thing and doing another over and over again, because their agenda is for world government, not for national sovereignty. They are traitors. Look at what happened now with Jay-Z and Beyonce. They just go to Cuba, because they're elitist scum. Okay, they have no respect for our nation, and they understand nothing. They serve another master. Lucifer is their master, the light bearer. He's into that whole thing. Okay, so we have this breakdown of society, this breakdown of morality, this unbelievable, incredible things. I mean, now Massachusetts, for example, public schools must cater to transgender students. And on the outside, it sounds great. Everyone should have freedom and they should do this. But cater to them? We have to cater to gay students? We have to cater to transgender students? We have to cater to... No. So everyone's been educated up to now. And now it's Soviet style completely. Like, look what happened here in Bristol, Connecticut. Giving out this heinous assignment to students in Bristol Central High School, telling them lies about the Second Amendment. So we have a serious problem. People have to alert themselves to this takeover as it's happening. It is happening, and it's getting faster. It's accelerating, as I mentioned. So we're looking at the situation where in Massachusetts, public schools can't cater to transgendered students. It's unbelievable. You have the Southern Poverty Law Center crying that the John Birch Society are a bunch of racists, and it's just unbelievable. Because we want freedom and liberty and return to a constitutional republic. We're the enemy. And who are they espousing? People like Bill Ayers from the Weather Underground, who bombed the Pentagon, among other things, and the Capitol. Everyone forgets about this. Osama bin Laden, yeah. But what about Bill Ayers, Obama's buddy from Chicago, from the Chicago crime syndicate over there that they were all part of? This guy's a terrorist. They're all communists. Leftists, socialists, communists, progressives, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't work. Margaret Thatcher, who just passed away, she stated it years ago. Socialism fails because eventually the money runs out. And guess who's going to pay then? Everyone's saying, Obama's great, he's giving me this, there is no free ride. There's no free ride anywhere. Don't you realize if you go and buy a product, it says, we're going to give you a free this and a free that. It's been figured into the price. There is no free thing in the world except freedom. So this proposed constitutional model for the new states of America took them 10 years to put it together. It cost $25 million. Here are some excerpts. A proposed constitutional model. Preamble. So that we may join in common endeavors, welcome the future in good order, and create an adequate and self-repairing government, we, the people, do establish the new states of America, herein provided to be ours, and to ordain this Constitution, whose supreme law it shall be until the time prescribed for it shall have run. The public communicators may decline to reveal sources of information, but shall be responsible for hurtful disclosures. Access to information possessed by governmental agencies shall not be denied, except in interest of national security, to cover up their crimes. But communications among officials necessary to decision-making shall be privileged. I mean, this is communism, whatever you want to call it, authoritarianism, totalitarianism. This is how it reads. Read Stalin's, or read Hitler. Read the Enabling Act, and then read the Patriot Act. Look at the similarities of what's going on here. It's like a hybrid of fascism and communism, whatever you want to call it. It's authoritarianism. You know, they say this all the time. You know, you can put lipstick and makeup on a pig, but it's still a pig. It's not freedom. It's not liberty. It's lies. They're not going to take. They're taking away your freedom, and you're enjoying it. Oh yes, no problem. I need this. I need that. The government's got to give me. Like this whole thing with Rand Paul down at Howard University. They're saying, I want the government to give me things. That's because you've been programmed to this thing because of the 1964 changes to the welfare plan, which is, again, part of this whole plan. I put it on yesterday's report, where they're going to increase crime in the inner cities and to actually have, here, 225. I know the page by heart. And you would have this. The government encouraged the manufacture and importation of military firearms for criminals to use. It's intended to foster a feeling of insecurity that would lead American people to voluntarily disarm themselves by passing laws against firearms. Using drugs and hypnosis on mental patients in a process called Orion, the CIA inculcated the desire in people to open fire on schoolyards. Does this sound familiar? And thus inflame the anti-gun lobby. By the way, this book was written in 1991. This new proposed constitutional model, the new states of America, is Rex 84, basically the continuity of government plan, put into place in 1984 by Ollie North, who later, of course, got busted with the Iran-Contra scandal, selling drugs for guns. I mean, it's still going on. The CIA has been the main trafficker of drugs since its inception, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to understand this is going way, way back. So I wanted to also try to dovetail this into a conclusion regarding, just to see how everyone can understand the connections. These societies and these plans, like Majesty 12, were put into place by the ultra-uber elite. Members of elite organizations, the Jason Society, the top level Illuminati, if you want to call it that, or whatever you would like to call the ruling class families, the top 13 families. And this is their plan for world domination. It is nothing less than that. It's simple. And they think it's good. They look at you as a pet that they can treat any way they want. You don't have freedom. You're just their pet. But you have to pay them for the privilege of living. And many of you, they want dead, like most of you, actually. And they're working on that real good with the GMO food and the fluoride and the vaccines. They're doing a great job with the population. That's on record, too. In fact, cancer now comes out that treating by chemotherapy means is only 1.7 to 2.3% effective in treating cancer. Thank God that now people know that. You mean I'm going to go through all that horror and torture and still die of cancer? That's right. Thank God some of these things are hitting the light. Why are they hitting the light? Because we're making an impact. Now, the interesting thing is that we see these changes in these companies, but the ruling class families and the owners are all the same. But even going back to the 1600s, when the Dutch East India Company formed in 1602 to carry out colonial activities for the Dutch government, its stock was valued at over 7.4 trillion. Now that's Queen Beatrice and Prince, I forget her husband's name, Queen Beatrice of the Netherlands. This is her bloodline, and her cousin is, of course, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, the eugenicist Nazi. who would like to come back as a disease and and do some good for the population and kill some people, to do something about this population problem that we have. Now, this East India Corporation was formed in 1602, and it was valued at 7.4 trillion in that time. That is unbelievable. At the height of the tulip bubble in 1637. That's right, the tulips. Believe it or not, tulips were worth more than gold and platinum. It was an incredible thing. Somehow they managed to whip up this frenzy for tulips, and then, of course, the market dropped. They took all the money, because money doesn't really go away. It just goes from one place to another, and in this case, they again held the bag, took all the money, leaving worthless and bankrupting Europe. It's one of the examples of how this has been going on for hundreds of years. It is a cyclical thing, but at this point, they finally have the ability to get the full world government. When this started, you had a situation of the First Congress of Vienna. They tried to get it, and it didn't work out, and that was in the 1787. So they've been trying to really get the world nations to come together under a world umbrella that they'll eventually control under their full domination and will. So what happened to the East India Company? Well, like all these big companies, they went under, right? And the interesting thing is, in 1798, the company went bankrupt and officially dissolved 2 years later. So if you believe that, so for another 161 years, they were rocking and rolling. And all of a sudden went bankrupt. You believe that? No, they just spread out. They into other organizations, other corporations, and other power centerpieces, other conglomerates, for lack of a better word. And then you had the fact that these powers continued to go against monarchies. In fact, once we reached 1776, when the Illuminati was established, to destroy monarchies and religion, that was their main intention as a Masonic order, and it's true. And they continue to do this to this day in their secret rituals and their secret Luciferian ideologies, where you must understand that religions will be abolished, just like they're abolishing morality, and just like they're abolishing and want people to have different things. I mean, they want people to experience all the world and do everything, and do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, like Aleister Crowley said, so that you can have your full, you can achieve what you wish in life. Well, everything comes at a cost, and certainly that must be calculated. Thank you for watching Truth Talk News. I'm Howard Nema.